Okay, good morning. This is the Orderflows trade review for Tuesday, March 8th, 2016. My name is Michael Valtos. I'm the founder of Orderflows.com. First, a disclaimer. This presentation is for educational and informational purposes only and should not be considered a solicitation to buy or sell a futures contract or make any other type of investment decision. Futures trading contains substantial risk and is not for every investor. An investor could potentially lose all or more than the initial investment. Risk capital is money that can be lost without jeopardizing one's financial security or lifestyle. Only risk capital should be used for trading, and only those with sufficient risk capital should consider trading. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Okay, so this morning wasn't a very easy morning. This is in the eminis on a 10 range chart, and I'd been looking for a trade most of the morning. Earlier, I was watching this run into the low. It came down towards the low, bounced off of it. But we had some strong selling come in, in these two bars. Nice negative deltas, and we bounced up a bit. And then a little bit later, we start coming down towards the low again, and the deltas are again picking up. You can see the selling coming in there. You got minus 1,000, minus 3,000, minus 5,000. I was looking for it to continue. I was looking for the selling to continue. We had this bar bounce up, and it was on fairly thin volume. The volume for the bar is 8,000. You had a couple imbalances, which is good. It's just sort of bounced off this low. You got a ratio here. You have a divergence. So I was looking for a bit of a pullback, to get short, because I was really looking for the selling to come in and push the market lower. But this is where things sort of got complicated. And so I had an offer in here at 81 to get short, looking for the sell-off again. But so I got short at 81 as the market came back. However, all of a sudden, I get this buying imbalance, and buying imbalances off of lows is what I like to trade. It's one of the things I like to trade, and we have a strong delta in this bar. Even in this bar, it's fairly strong. I have a ratio here, so I got a divergence and a ratio. And normally these are two things that I like to trade by themselves. It just so happened I was short already. But, like I said, I was really looking for the selling that you're seeing in here and a little bit earlier to come back in. I was looking to get out around 85 as a stop price, from being short at 81. And then all of a sudden I see things that just really changed my thought process on what's happening in the market. Said, I've got this divergence with a ratio, then I got a buying imbalance, and just again a strong delta. If we're going to be moving away from the low, this is what you like to see. Everything like this. It just so happens that I already took trade. So I bit the bullet. I covered it at 3.5. I didn't necessarily want to wait till I got to 85. But then again, now I'm staring at a couple setups that I like to trade. So I got long at 83, which is right inside this stacked buying imbalance. And then what happens? The market just sells right off. I got my stop down here, at 81, so I'm stopped out. Okay, so it's almost like, if I just did nothing, I would have been better off, but instead, I took short at 81 out at 3.5, that's 2.5. I bought it at 83 out at 80, that's 3 points. So, I'm already down, 5.5 points. Okay, so my next trade, it was on a 5 range emini chart. And what I had seen is, we were just right around the low. We kept touching the low. We took out the low. We all got all these divergences, but the market's not moving away. Then all of a sudden I see, I see a ratio here, a single print, a small print, and a small print forming in here. I got long at 83. I took it only up to 84. I wanted to try and get to 85, but, it's one of those times where it just comes up within a tick of your level and starts coming off. And, we're spending a bit of time in here. I was afraid that, the market was just going to sell off, and instead of having any sort of winner, I'd be booking a loser. So I got out at a point. Okay, so, before I was down 5.5, so, I got a point back. I was able to claw some back. It would have been felt much better if I was able to get out at 85. But, I said you can only take what the market's going to give you. Okay, then for my next trade, it was in the bonds, and it's sort of been making new highs most of the morning. And what you're seeing here is sort of a shift, right? The highs, they're doing it, but on fairly small deltas. You're seeing 143.65, then you get to this high, and you got a big strong negative delta, 900. I have a ratio, I got a divergence. This is what I like to trade. I got short here at 21, and I was really looking for a move down towards the 15 level, 15 or 16. I threw in another offer at 22. I saw the single print forming, so it really sort of setting up. This is what I like. This is the I'd much rather sell the increasing negative deltas near the high than near the low, like I did in the S&Ps, which resulted in a loss. But it's just something. Sometimes trades look really nice, and you want to take them, like I took it in the S&Ps. So I got what I like. I got the ratio, I got the divergence, I got the strong negative delta. Then in the next bar, I got the single print. I got, again, the follow through with the negative delta. For me, it was all systems go. I got short at 21, I got short at 22. And the market's really starting to look nicely, even in this next bar when I'm short at 22 on a little bit of a pullback. When your market's dropping, selling off, look for the points of controls to be your resistance levels. So here market rallied up there, here the market rallied up to this point of control, and it's starting to come down. Okay, so it's going in my favor. It's going in my favor. I said, I was looking at around this level here, 16, and boom, the selling comes back in, and it comes back down to 16, comes back down to 15, and I was able to claw back everything that I lost on sort of that foray into the E-minis this morning. So it's a matter of sticking with what you know. I mean, even though you have a couple of losses, and it does affect your psychology. Don't let it think it's not going to affect the way you think. I know what I know how I trade. It works. So as long as I keep plugging away at it, yeah, it was 2 losses, but it wasn't like 5 losses in a row. But, I'm still looking for the same things, and I'm looking. You got to take the trades. You got to step up to the plate when the trades present themselves. I mean, this was a trade. I said normally it's a 5 range. I'm looking to get 5, 6, 7, 8 ticks. I didn't necessarily. I got out here. There wasn't any ratio in here as a doji bar, but if there was a ratio in here, yeah, I probably would have been looking to hold it. Hold it a bit more. It did sell off nicely, but it just sort of hung around. So getting out at 15, 16 was fairly nice. I'm not going to say, oh, look, the market sold off to 04 or, 00. I took my profits here. But I'm not necessarily, if it's going to be going sideways through here, getting out, I probably would have got out at the same levels over here, just, giving up in frustration. I would not have waited for it to come off as much as it did. My opportunity to get out presented itself, and I got out. Okay, so thank you. That's the end of this trade review. To learn more about how I trade and the order flow software that I created and used in this video, be sure to visit www.orderflows.com or send me an email. It's mike@orderflows.com. Thank you.